Now, for those of you that were here for Dude in the original production, this is going to seem like a bit of a rehash, but for those of you that are here for this book right here, we're going to talk a bit about the historical impact of Dude. Now, Dude ran for 16 previews and 16 performances at the Broadway Theater. Does anyone know what the tenet of the Broadway was before Dude? It was Fiddler on the Roof. It was the original production of Fiddler on the Roof, and Dude was the first show to come in after Fiddler broke the record for the longest running musical in Broadway history. Now, Dude is so infamous of a mega flop that it has one of the largest posters in Joe Allen's, the famous theater restaurant that is decorated in flop window cards. And it also has its own section within Not Sin Scary. Now, here's a little section for those of you who haven't had a chance to read this incredibly important text. For Dude, the enormous Broadway theater was converted into an environmental arena. The forest-like in-the-round setting included a band placed around the house in various locations, ramps, a central stage on top of what used to be the orchestra seats, and seats where the stage used to be. Actors roamed throughout the theater and even flew overhead. The seat locations were given cute names. The best seats, which were $7 a pop, were the foothills, and one could purchase trees, mountains, and valleys. Dude, subtitled The Highway Life, with a book and lyrics by Hare's co-author Gerome Ragni, seems to be about Dude, who represented every man, and his temptation by Zero, who represented Satan. God, here called 33, ultimately wins out and gives Dude back his innocence. Perhaps the most incomprehensible show ever presented on a Broadway stage, it was mostly sung, but the songs were rarely related and could have been performed in any order or by any character. MacDermot, a talented composer, called in Hare's original director Tom O'Horgan when the show's original director Rocco Buffuno was not working out. The show, of course, seemed like pure O'Horgan from the beginning. Late in previews, the producers, Adela and Peter Holzer, told Ragni that they were going to close the show if he did not rewrite the book to make it more intelligible. He did not. After a critical drubbing, the rock music, including one by the rock musical champion Clive Barnes, who was a mega fan of Hare, the show closed in 2 weeks, losing $1 million. However, when asked about the process, Tom O'Horgan was firm. He thought it was the best score that Galt MacDermot had ever written, and it was the most talented cast he worked with in his entire career.